Let's get our first alert forecast with April this morning.
It's true. It's really nice out there this morning as we await our Wednesday morning sunrise. We're halfway through a week that's been pretty warm so far and is about to get even warmer. We've got temperatures this morning that are nice and cool, though. Get out early if you can. 58 in Surprise and Wickenburg. It's 60 in your neighborhood in Avondale. We've got some upper 50s in Buckeye, but upper 60s right now in Glendale. 69 in downtown Phoenix, 58 in Levine, 57 in Ahwatukee. We're definitely seeing this outlying areas drop off a bit more. 56 for Anthem, 61 in Scottsdale, upper 60s for Mesa, and low 60s out in Apache Junction. We're climbing to 98 today, which is well above average for this time of year. It's 11 degrees above normal for this time of year, which would be 87, and we're just 2 degrees shy of the record for today's date. 100 degrees set back in 2003. We're going to talk about how much hotter it's about to get and when I'm seeing a big cool down, all coming up in just a couple minutes.
So early this morning, we had a crash inside the Deck Park Tunnel in downtown Phoenix that caused a big backup. The accident is long gone, but the damage has been done. That's a live look at the I-10 and 43rd Avenue. Those folks are heading in to the downtown Phoenix area. Not unusual to see slow-go conditions, but that drive time, that is unusual. 101 to downtown Phoenix, 30 minutes right now. That's going to be about let's call it 6 to 12 minutes. It's slower than normal depending on where you're going and where you're coming from. So make sure you give yourself a little extra time. Early wave of rush hour is starting to dissipate on the I-17, but still we're looking at a 13-minute drive time from Cactus down to that I-10 stack transition.
Roadways as always. Good morning.
Good morning, and no big surprise. The rush hour is underway on the I-10, and that's a live look at the I-10 at 43rd Avenue. Those folks are inbound here, so let's go ahead and go to the boards. Early this morning, we had a crash inside the Deck Park Tunnel. It made for a big backup, and actually we still have extra slow conditions this morning, but now we're only like maybe 3 to 5 minutes slower than normal. 101 to downtown Phoenix, 27 minutes. As we take a look at the northern part of town, the early wave of rush hour in the I-17 is just about done. The 51 is still quiet. Just starting to see spotty slowing on that Loop 101 across the north part of town. We definitely have brake lights as you head into South Phoenix through the Durango curve. By the time you get to about 7th Street, you're good to go after that. And then our East Valley freeways at this point are still in green conditions. We usually don't see rush hour conditions in the East Valley until closer to 7:15, 7:30. April, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you. Yeah, let's talk about your bus stop forecast for those getting the kiddos out the door this morning. It's nice and cool. We've got a mix of 50s and 60s right now. It's going to warm up pretty quickly, though. We're flirting with 90 by lunchtime today. A cool start, but a warm day, 98 degrees. I mean, that's feeling like early June or late May, not late October. We've got some pretty wild weather when it comes to our temperatures over the next couple of days. A reminder that what's normal for Phoenix this time of year would be mid to upper 80s, 87 degrees. We're going to be 11 degrees above that today and just 2 degrees shy of the record of 100 degrees. 67 has been our low this morning, and 63 is normal. So we're running a little bit above normal on our lows, but well above average on our afternoon highs. Here's the great news. It's not going to last forever. Unfortunately, we've got a very hot weekend ahead. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But beyond the weekend, next week looks to bring some cooler changes. This is an 8 to 14 day outlook. So this is going to be from the middle of next week, the day before Halloween, to the start of the next week. And this blue means that we are favoring chances to be below normal on our temperatures. And again, normal would be mid 80s. So below normal could be some upper 70s or low 80s. This morning we're waking up to mostly clear skies, and I don't think that's going to change much today. We've got a big ridge of high pressure over us. That's kind of building this heat dome that is going to continue into the weekend. This is the jet stream well to the north of us. Let's go forward in time here. Timeline here at the top of your screen. So this dome, again, it sits over us the next couple of days. The storm track stays to the north of us with any rain and snow. This storm's going to do the exact same thing. This is Friday. This ridge is building into the weekend. I think we might hit 100 degrees on Saturday, which is definitely the latest in any calendar year we've ever seen a triple-digit high for the Valley metro area. A dry but partly cloudy weekend. We'll get some clouds Saturday and into Sunday. Now by Monday, you can see the big storm that's dropping down into the Great Basin. This is our big change for next week. So Monday ahead of it, temperatures will drop a little bit, but it's going to get windy across Arizona with the storm just off to our northwest. It drops into Arizona on Tuesday, and it's going to bring a big blast of cooler air. So this is going to take us from triple-digit heat over the weekend to probably the upper 70s by Tuesday. So again, it's a quick transition to some very fall-like weather. The big wild card with this is how far south it sinks, and that's going to determine how much moisture we get. At this point, it doesn't look like we've got rain in the cards for us here in the valley, but maybe some rain and snow in the high country. We'll have to wait till we get a little bit closer. This is about a week away, so we'll keep you updated on that, and of course how it might impact your trick-or-treating temperatures. Here's what we're thinking at this point. 98 today, 96 tomorrow, back to 98 Friday. Records set by Friday and Saturday. Mornings stay cool, 60s and low 70s, but look at this hot weekend ahead, 99 and 100 degrees. We fall a little bit on Monday, but look at that, 70s for Tuesday. At this point, looks pretty likely we might stay in the 80s for Halloween.
Well, that's not bad for sure. Coming back.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a dirty word
You have
now.
to ruin
I know
it.
Right?
I know. It's really hard to believe. Every time I kind of look at the forecast models, I just think this can't be happening. This cannot be happening. And
Could we find some different models?
Some different, yeah. This is what I was thinking though, in late September, early October, and here we are at the end of the month, and yeah, the heat's coming back. It's temporary though. At the end of our 7-day forecast, I have a huge cool down, so we can get through this, but we got a couple of hot days ahead of us. Today's one of them, despite our nice and cool start. It's about 60 degrees right now as the sun comes up in Gilbert. Good morning, East Valley. We've got Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, checking in the upper 60s, but mid 50s right now in Glendale. Clear skies, a drier air mass. We're cooling it off nicely. 59 in Chandler, 58 right now in Scottsdale. We're going to warm it up quickly despite this cool start. 70 by 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 81 degrees, almost 90 by lunchtime today, and then 98 this afternoon. So no triple digits today, although that's very, very close. And we cool back to the 80s by about 7 o'clock this evening. Still, again, this is very warm for this time of year, so we'll talk about how long this heat wave is going to last coming up in just a couple minutes.
We've got a brand new crash in the East Valley. We're taking you to the 101 southbound right at Broadway. You can see the accident here is blocking 1, 2, maybe 3 right lanes. What's tough about where this accident is, it's just before you get to the US 60 transition. And in this area, you've got cars that are constantly crossing back and forth to different lanes to try to get into the right lane to either transition to the 60 or stay on the 101 southbound. Southbound's not the side our morning rush hour flows on, but again, this is a busy spot because of that US 60 transition. Right now, we're not seeing significant slowing because of the accident. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll let you know if and when that changes. But as we widen out the view, you can see we definitely have brake lights on the I-10 in the West Valley, starting to see slowing through the north part of town. We'll update those freeway drive times coming up in the next traffic report.
Gina, thank you.
From there, we will take you to the East Valley because we want to update you on the 101 southbound right at Broadway. This accident was blocking half of the freeway, the right side anyway, but everybody's been moved off to the right and the traffic is light once again. And for the most part, we've got green conditions throughout our East Valley freeway system, just barely a tap of the brake lights as you head north into Scottsdale on the 101, and then also as you transition into downtown Phoenix on the 202. If you're coming in from the West Valley, very different story. You guys have been in the rush hour now for almost an hour and a half. 101 to downtown Phoenix, 29 minutes right now. That's just a few minutes slower than normal. 51 just has a tap of the brake lights through the Camelback corridor. I-17, Cactus to the Stack, 18 minutes. And then if you drive on that 101 across the north part of town right now, 51st Avenue to Tatum, you're looking at an 18-minute drive time. April, usually by this time of the year, I look forward to sweatshirts for Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Gosh darn.
I got one more Friday night that's going to be a little bit on the sweaty side for you. Then we're going to see some really sweet relief coming our way next week. In the meantime, your after-school activities, well, let's start with today. They're going to be pretty warm, unseasonably warm, we'll call that. A normal high for Phoenix this time of year, about 86, 87 degrees. Instead, we'll be at 98, just 2 degrees shy of the record for today's date. Hottest it's ever been is 100 degrees, 96 by 5 p.m. and 90 degrees by 7 p.m. So unseasonably warm for even your evening outdoor activities tonight, but we're going to get there. Let's talk about pollen counts. Let's talk about your allergies right now. Maybe you're allergic to ragweed, juniper, or cedar if you've been having issues lately. That's what we're seeing the most of, although trees, weeds, and grass pollen all in the low category right now. Winds shouldn't be an issue today. We've got very light winds this morning. They're out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour, and they should stay fairly light all day. We've got a dry air mass in place, 22% relative humidity and a 29-degree dew point, and mostly clear skies and cooler temperatures showing us that dry air in place as well. It's only 69 degrees at Sky Harbor. Most outlying areas are in the upper 50s to low 60s. Again, clear skies we see on our satellite and radar view as well. Your first alert radar not showing us anything right now. We're under kind of a dome of high pressure that's going to stick with us for the next couple of days. Here it is, the jet stream and storm track to the north of us. We're going forward in time now. Timeline here at the top of your screen, which shows our next storm stay to the north of us. And this ridge of high pressure really brings us some warm weather for the weekend. We're going to hit 100 degrees. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to stay at 99 for Saturday. Either way, that'll be our hottest day. Sunday's looking toasty too, but by Monday, we're going to start to see the storm move toward us. And this is going to be a deep and cold storm system for Arizona. Not sure it's going to be a wet storm system for us. The rain and snow at this point probably going to stay to the north of Arizona. Best chances look to be along the Arizona-Utah border for any rain and snow. But by Tuesday, we're going to see a huge drop in temperatures. And even as this storm moves out later next week, it's going to leave us with cooler air in place, which should lead to a mild Halloween. It's always Halloween, right? That it cools off around here. Usually we're not still talking about triple digits, though, right before Halloween. 98 today, 96 tomorrow, 98 for Friday. Morning staying in the 60s and the low 70s. But this weekend, boy, get ready, 99 and 100 degrees. There is relief just around the corner. Look at that, upper 70s by Tuesday.